March Madness has really taken over my life in terms of YouTube the last 2 weeks. Basically, all the content I've been putting out is about March Madness, and it's been doing amazing. So for all of you guys that have been watching that, thank you so much. I appreciate the love and everything on those videos. But it's time to get back into football because beneath all the March Madness stuff, we have had NFL Pro Days, which is kind of, NFL Draft is kind of my favorite sports thing in the whole year. I don't want to say that I like it more than the national championship, the college football playoff, the Super Bowl, NFL playoffs, MLB playoffs, all stuff like that, March Madness, but it's the combination. It's where my two favorite leagues, college football and NFL football, come together for one night, and you see the guys that you watch for 4 years in college or 3 years in college go off to the NFL. So it's an exciting night. I love the NFL draft, and if you love the NFL draft, or NFL, or college football, or football in general, do yourself a favor and subscribe to this channel. I guarantee you will not be disappointed with the content you see on this channel. Lots of football talk. And while you're at it, do me a favor and like the video. That'll help get this video shared around, and I'd really, really appreciate that. But here today, after some of the pro days, I'm going to break down so far my biggest winners from these NFL pro days, who I've seen has made a drastic change in their NFL draft stock, and they're going to go a lot higher than they were projected to, or at least how high I saw them going to earlier. So let's get into it. I got 6 guys here, and I just can't wait to get into it. So why wait? First off is a guy that, if you watched my NFL draft prospects tier ranking video, which if you haven't, you should definitely check that out. An amazing video. This guy I ranked in the overrated category because I was not a big fan of this guy. I thought he was overrated. I didn't think that he's going to be that good in the NFL, but his pro day has really, really helped his stock. And you know what? I'm kind of turning around on this guy because I was a bit harsh on him. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, I've been saying that this guy has been good since the beginning. No, I kind of trashed this guy in my NFL tier maker video. Like, I didn't say anything bad about him, but I didn't give him the respect that he deserved. Rondell Moore, wide receiver out of Purdue. 42.5-inch vert, and he's not a big dude at all, but his vert is insane. If you go watch any of his pro day highlights, the vert was insane. Not to mention, he had one of the, I think, top 3. I think the only guy that beat him was Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn. He ran a 4.29 40 yard dash. Insane. Like, this guy, an athletic freak. I didn't really see that before. Like, that's why I think I had him so underrated. His size was not big enough for me. I think that's why I had him so underrated, but he's a speedster. He's a guy that kind of, I don't want to say he's like Tyreek Hill because Tyreek is so good, but you can kind of see that play in him where if you get him into any kind of space with the ball, only good things are going to happen. And the 42.5-inch vert is just crazy. I think it might be the best. It's definitely the best I have here on this board. I'm by 6 guys, but unbelievable from Rondell Moore. So I think his draft stock is definitely increased because of this NFL Pro Day that he had. Next up, I think this is an obvious one at number 2. Zack Wilson, probably going to go. I think it's pretty obvious to say, and it's pretty confident I can say that Zack Wilson will be a cemented number 2 pick to the New York Jets after this Pro Day. I don't even think he did his vert or anything like that as 40. Or at least I couldn't find it, but just the highlights constantly. I think the only thing that I've seen more than Justin Bieber's new song Peaches, which I can't stand, it's everywhere on social media. The only thing that I've seen more than that, or I guess I heard that, the only thing I've seen more than that is that play that Zack Wilson had where he rolls out left, throws across his shoulder to the end zone about 50 yards. Perfect dime throw. Again, I'm very critical of these NFL Pro Days because, again, you don't have pads on. You're not going up against anyone. You're going up against pure air. And you have one of your receivers with you. You don't even have any defenders. But still, I think Zack Wilson, just his fluidness and just how clean of a quarterback he can be, really, really showed in this pro day. And I think that the Jets, there's no way that they're going to pass up on him. So I think Zack Wilson, his draft stock, I don't want to say it's increased, but it's cemented his name in that number 2 spot for the New York Jets. So Zack Wilson, my number 2 guy. Number 3, I'm going to go with one of my Gamecocks because I have to. Not just because I love the Gamecocks and I know this guy's a great player, but what he put up in his pro day was insane, and his draft stock has gone up a ton. I've seen him go from, in a bunch of mock drafts, going from the 3rd cornerback taken off the board to now the first in some, second in others. And I honestly think he's second at least. At least he should be the second cornerback taken off the board. J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. I think what this pro day did for him in general, you look at guys like Patrick Surtain and Caleb Farley, the size and the physicality and the pure strength of J.C. Horn really, really showed in his pro day. And I think that's exactly what he needed. I think that that's something that everyone was overlooking, but this guy is huge and he can show his athleticism. Ran a 4.37 40-yard dash, 11-1 broad jump, and then a 41.5 vert. I mean, he's a son of an NFLer, but this guy's going to make a lane of his own. I guarantee you that. He's going to be one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, and he, at least, I understand if you take Patrick Surtain above him, although I don't think he should. I understand, but I don't think Caleb Farley should go ahead of J.C. Horn. There's no way, and I think that people are starting to realize that. I think that people are starting to see the talent in J.C. Horn that they finally deserve to see, that he finally deserves to be seen. So I think J.C. Horn's draft stock, especially after this pro day, has gone up a ton. Another one, kind of like the Zack Wilson situation that I want to talk about in Ja'Marr Chase. I'm not sure his draft stock is raised because of this, but I think he's cemented himself into that number one wide receiver taken off the board. I hate saying that because I love Devontae Smith and I want to see him be taken first off the board, but if I had to be realistic, Ja'Marr Chase is going to go number one off the board. He had a 41 vert, a 4.38 40, and then an 11-foot broad jump. This guy's huge to start with. So you already had the huge physical appearance of Ja'Marr Chase that you have to go up with. A guy running a 4.38, and then he has a 41-inch vert. Like, that's close to what Rondell Moore put up, which was really impressive. Ja'Marr Chase has pretty much cemented himself. He's at least going to be, I don't know if I could say top 5. I'd say at least a top 6 pick because whoever the Eagles are going to take, or I guess it's the Dolphins now, the Dolphins are going to take him at 6 if need be and if he's still around. But Ja'Marr Chase, in my opinion, especially after his pro day, you just see how good of a wide receiver he is and that he does not drop balls. Even though he hasn't played for a year, Ja'Marr Chase is going to be the first wide receiver off the board. So I think he's a huge winner of this one. Next up, again, you're going to notice a trend here that most of the guys I have in the sport, actually all of them except Zack Wilson, are going to be SEC guys because SEC is what I cover the most and it's what I'm exposed to the most and I know these guys the most. Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss, 36-inch vert. He ran a 4.35 with a 10-foot broad jump. I think that the 4.35 40 is his most impressive stat there, but the fact that this guy's been overlooked so many times in the draft, like I look at all the mock drafts and I just laugh at how Elijah Moore is not higher than what he is. Like it's like no one watched him. I get it. Alabama had Devontae Smith. He was kind of the main wide receiver in the SEC. But if you look at what Elijah Moore was putting up over there at Ole Miss, he was burning secondaries, burning SEC secondaries over there in Ole Miss. And I think this pro day for him at Ole Miss, you just saw how fast he was and how well he runs his routes and everything. I think it really helped his draft stock. And he's a guy that I want to see go higher than he's been projected to because it makes me laugh every single time I see Elijah Moore going 3rd, 4th round when I know this guy. I think he was either first or second in receiving yards in the SEC. Him and Matt Corral just paired up so well this season. Elijah Moore had an amazing pro day, so he's another winner. And this was the guy that I wasn't going to put in only because I didn't want to seem biased because I am a big Gamecocks fan, but I had to put it in. This guy, his pro day really, really helped him out, and one of my favorite players, but he deserves way more credit than what he gets for. Shi Smith out of South Carolina, wide receiver out of South Carolina. Now, you may notice a trend that we had 4 wide receivers on this winners board. I love wide receivers, favorite position in all of football. 4.33 40 for Shi Smith. I think that was a top 3 time or top 4 time out of everyone. You had Anthony Schwartz. You had Rondell Moore. I can't remember who was 3 here. I'll pull it up right now. So here we go. Anthony Schwartz, Rondell Moore, Eric Stokes, and then you had Shi Smith coming in at 4, and then Elijah Moore coming in at 5. So the 3 of the top 5 guys in the 40 are on my list here. Shi Smith, though, 36-inch vert, and then you have a 10-foot broad jump for Shi Smith. I knew Shi Smith was fast, but I didn't know he was that fast. After 4 years of watching Shi Smith, I still didn't know he was that fast, and I feel like this really, really helped him. He went overlooked just because of the talent that he had around him, especially at quarterback. His quarterback play was really inconsistent his last year, so I get why so many people have overlooked him. But if you really take the pure talent for what Shi Smith is, especially the athleticism, which I think definitely showed in this pro day, Shi Smith is a guy that should be climbing up boards. 3rd or 4th round pick at least. Like when I see him going 5 and beyond, I just laugh. I don't understand it. But Shi Smith, definitely a guy that his draft stock has gone up because of this pro day. So that is my list. I have Rondell Moore, Zack Wilson, J.C. Horn, Jamar Chase, Elijah Moore, and then Shi Smith. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I really appreciate it. Definitely like down below. Comment who you think some of your biggest NFL pro day movers are in a good way, or even some of your guys whose draft stock went down. Like I could think of a couple of guys. I don't think Mac Jones had the greatest of pro days, even though I love Mac Jones, but I'm not complaining about that because if he falls back to the Bears and we take him, be more than happy about that. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching. I've said it like 3 times. Come back next time.